This is the Griffin Podcast, episode number 82. We continue on our agent plan, and the question is, are you earning your referrals? Are you a home buyer or a home seller who has questions about selling or buying residential property? Or maybe you're an agent who needs a plan, but none of you can find an easy way to get your answers. Well, then, hey, you are definitely in the right place. I'm Danny Griffin, the founder of The Griffin and the host of the Ask-A-Griffin podcast. And to help you take immediate action to get started in the right direction, if you need to sell or buy property right now or in the near future, or you're a real estate agent who wants a plan, you can take advantage of our free step-by-step guides that are waiting for you at griffincourses.com. That's Griffin courses.com. Okay, let's get started. Like I said, we are in the third of our core plans. We have a seller plan, an agent plan, and a buyer plan. And those plans really are what to do information that we've set out there for free so that anybody knows what to do. Of course, if you need how to do information, you can reach out to us and we'd be happy to help you deeper in the process if you're any of those folks, seller, buyer, or agent. So the question on the table to the agents as we round out the closing process near the end of the transaction business, we really ask, are you earning your referrals? See, a lot of real estate agents or business people in general expect referrals to come their way. We all act as if, we had such a great relationship and wasn't it wonderful? And I got them a great deal and I'm sure they'll refer me. All right. Well, you better be careful about this because the first point is here, it's how you close a transaction that matters most. I know you're thinking to yourself, what do you mean? Especially in the market that we're in right now. It's very difficult to find a buyer, a good property or any property at all. Inventory is shrunken. So what are you talking about? That's where I was most valuable. I get it. And the same thing, when the market goes the other way and all of a sudden it's difficult for the seller and you have to dig in and you still get them a great deal in spite of the fact that it's a buyer's market, whatever market you find yourself in, I understand that the front end of a transaction is where a lot of your expertise, your skill, your hustle, your hard work comes to play. However, what you really have to realize is the second point here. You don't want to fall prey to closer's rush and become too transactional and leave your clients in the dust. Let me explain this. As real estate agents, most of you, if not the majority by a far stretch, are very excited to sell a house, right? You help the seller sell the house, you help the buyer sell the house, and there is a sense of completion once one of these properties goes under agreement. You feel good about it. Everybody's achieved something together. You're firmly in control of a deal that serves whatever party you're serving, and it feels great. And that's a closer's rush. The adrenaline gets going. After all your hard work, finally something has come together and all parties have agreed, and off you go and leave your clients in the dust. You become transactional. In some states, it's the title company. You just put it in escrow, they say on the West Coast. I have another one in escrow. It's the closer's rush. Or here, no, the attorneys are taking care of it. They'll be fine, and everybody will be fine. And we really leave our client, think about what I'm saying, in the dust and solely in the hands of third parties, such as title companies, such as closing coordinators, such as attorneys, whomever it might be, even if it's mentally, even if we think that we are actually not doing that we're still involved. Are we really? Because let's talk about the sales process in general, the whole process. I don't mean just selling the property by going out, for example, in a buyer case, let's use that. If I go out and I'm looking at the properties with them once they become a client, so they're no longer a lead, they went from a prospect, then they allowed me to become their agent, and now they're a client. And so we have so much work up front looking, and we're digging, and we're online, and they're exclusive with us, and bang, we put it under agreement. They're still a client. And now we have the most harrowing part of the entire process. Finding it can be fun, sometimes frustrating, sure, but finding it can be fun. But once it's under agreement, there is so much pressure, especially of time. especially in a tight market where everybody's trying to move swiftly, and a lot of people begin to compromise too much on contingencies and time frames, and we get unrealistic because we're trying to win and everybody's pushing. And we just leave these clients in this state of anxiety. And we're not doing enough to shift our own gear out of the sales and acquisition mode to get the deal and into caregiving. And that's the third point here. You must close with white glove level service. And then you'll create raving fans who refer your business for life, right? I mean, that's what this is like. See, once this goes under agreement, there are critical dates, there are deadlines, there is money being transacted, there are multiple third parties introduced in this really tight time frame. If you thought somebody was nervous or anxious about being involved in the single largest financial and emotional transaction they make anyway, well, when do you see the accelerant that happens during a closing process? Everybody, quite frankly, freaks out. So it is your job to maintain that orchestra leader or that true leadership position over all of it, and make sure you're really checking in with your client's mental state. How are they doing? How's their anxiety level? Do they feel like they're in control? And some people play the whole process with a pretty good poker face, as if they know everything because they're too embarrassed to ask, or they're too educated to ask. I see a lot of high-end educated folks with PhDs and MDs, etc., more degrees after their name, just have a meltdown and they don't even ask for help. So anticipate it. That's what white glove service is. If you've ever gone to some of the finest hotels in the world, especially, see, because we're losing this, right? We're losing this mentality of white glove level service. We don't quite see it as often as we used to. We're taking business for granted. So think of any great hotel or some great service that you've ever had from anyone. That's what I mean by white glove. I mean top notch. That's the time to do it. Because at the end of the day, that's when your client is going to feel most cared for. Sure, you got the house. Sure, you got a great deal. But how you got them either out of the house as the seller or into it as the buyer, and that you cared for them. I mean, even the smallest of closing gifts to just say thank you, right? All of those things set these people up for what I call the final and never-ending module, which is the past client community module. You've built a family if you've done this right. So let me go back and talk about this. Here are the points. The question on the table in the agent plan as we round out the closing module is, are you really earning your referrals? Are you earning them? Keyword there. The first point is it's how you close a transaction that matters. Let me say it again. It's how you close a transaction that's already under agreement that matters most. 2, don't fall prey to the closer's rush and become too transactional and leave your clients in the dust. 3, close with white glove level service, and you'll create raving fans who refer you for life. All right, let me summarize it this way. Too many real estate agents, too many of them, get overly excited when they put a deal under contract only to dump their client onto the closing department and ignore that their client needs them now than ever before during this transaction. The most important stage of a real estate transaction is the closing process. So pay close attention to your client, offer top-notch service, and you'll win a raving fan who's likely to refer to your business for life. All right, remember, you can take immediate action to get started in the right direction. If you need to sell or buy property right now or in the near future, or you're an agent who wants help with a better plan by getting our free step-by-step guides that are waiting for you at griffincourses.com. That's GRIFFIN courses.com. Also, don't forget, you can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen, or find us on any of our social media channels so that you don't miss out on any of the insights each time we upload an episode. We'd also appreciate it if you would share our content with anyone thinking about selling or buying property or becoming a real estate agent or just doing their job better so that they get the help that they need to be successful. Also, remember, we sign off our podcasts all the same way every time, right? Nobody's coming for you. Nobody. So go get to work on a plan for buying or selling property or becoming a more successful agent, and we'll see you in the next episode to help you do just that. Thanks again.